What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Kamen Riders. We are a Kamen Rider review podcast, and today on the show, we're going to talk about Kamen Rider Zeztz, episode 21. I'm your host, Josh Meek, the Uber Geek, and I'm joined, as always, by my good friend, Toby Tobes. How's it going, Toby?
Josh, today I'm gonna brag about my crazy person gamer behavior for the beginning of this nice little show.
I'm excited. Let's go.
So, as everyone is well documented on here, very big into doing retro achievements.
Yeah.
At this point, I am in the top, I guess we'll call it 1% to round up and be nice. But I'm in like the top 1.89% of the website in basically a little over a year.
That's insane.
It is. So
it's insane because this is like it's been around for a long time, and you've started so recently, and are that close to like the top of the charts. That's crazy.
Yeah, like when you were like, I forget how many months ago it was, but when I hit 3%, I told you that was probably the best I ever did. I was like, it's all like the real heads now. There's no way I'm catching up to these people, and now I'm like 1.89.
That's so crazy.
So, but to this point, Josh, and I wouldn't know if this is like cheating behavior, insane behavior, or a mix of both.
Okay.
So, as you know, most emulators have like a fast forward function or a turbo function, meaning that like if I want to play a game at 2x, I can. I just have to be able to play the game at 2x. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So like you still have to put all the inputs in and stuff, but you're just getting through it faster.
Yeah,
basically.
One of the RPGs I played, like I went to like Dragon Quest 1, Dragon Quest 2.
Yeah.
If I'm sitting there grinding shit out, like I can set the emulator to like 4x speed, so I'm only wasting like 30 minutes of my life, but it would be like 2 hours of in-game grinding just to get the game to progress faster, kind of deal.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't have any problem with that.
Okay, so then to that point, so like I told you last week, I had just beat Parasite Eve on regular mode, or like the regular playthrough, and then the rest of the achievements are beat it on New Game Plus, and then do like the boss rush tower, which is like 77 levels of like randomly generated maze bullshit. So I must have weird, crazy Twitch reflexes still at my ripe old age of almost 43 now, where I played the entire New Game Plus run of Parasite Eve, minus the boss fights, at 4x speed on the emulator.
That's awesome.
But I made it all the way through. I didn't die. I could still heal, dodge when I had to, because it's like action turn-based RPG-ish. So like things like you can't attack until your little ATB battle shit is at the proper spot, but you have to dodge attacks and everything else. Yeah, I did the entire New Game Plus run at 400% turbo fast forward on the emulator.
Nice.
Like insane person.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like, you know, like an RPG oftentimes is very time consuming, but literally anyone can just commit time to something. So that doesn't feel like the achievement in and of itself. So like if you were doing something where you like got to skip giant portions of the game, but it still counted as like a complete for your thing or something, maybe, but like if you're doing it all, you're making all the decisions, you're doing all the inputs, it's just happening faster. I feel like that's not a huge deal. It's not a big black mark on your record, I don't think. At least in my opinion.
And to that point, I have no different technology that anybody else would have.
Exactly.
So anyone could do it. Like just people that are, for a lot of things, are like, oh, just speed up the emulator because you're gonna be grinding for 2 hours doing this bullshit. This is a horrible achievement. Why'd this dev put it in here?
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like the agreed upon, hey, if this is too boring or grindy, just fast forward, knock yourself out kind of deal.
So does, I can't remember, does hardcore mode let you fast forward? Or are you having to turn off hardcore mode?
So like with RetroArch is like Retro Achievement's main emulator that covers most things. That disables rewind and fast forward as like triggers for the games when hardcore mode is on. But like if you use like Duck Station for PlayStation games or RA Liberto or whatever it's called, Libero, which is like which is like RA uses it for actually deving out the achievements and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they both have turbo functions built into them, where it's just like when you click the button in the app itself, it just fast forwards the emulation.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, it's like there's I guess a little bit of cheese there if if there's a different emulator that lets you fast forward in hardcore, even though RetroArch doesn't. But at the same time, anyone could switch to those emulators, and they're not, actively trying to block them or anything. So
Yeah,
I think it's fine. And honestly, I think playing through that game a second time at 4x speed makes you less insane. You asked if it made you insane, but I mean, like, I feel like that's like the one of the sanest things you've done in relation to retro achievements. I mean, we're talking about the guy who is playing like Sesame Street games at 3 a.m. I mean, I don't
yeah,
know. In the grand scheme of things you've done for retro achievements, this one seems pretty good.
Oh, sweet. It's all that matters.
Yeah. Well, great. I'm glad to hear your continued rise.
The quest goes on, Josh. The quest goes on.
Have you looked at how far away you are from like the top person, or like how many points you are away from like getting top 10 or something crazy?
I haven't recently, but I would almost guarantee that it's not going to be anywhere close.
I wouldn't
Like,
think so. Yeah.
all right, so
It'd be interesting to like, I don't know, chart that somehow. Like you're this far along in the mass of people, but then like what's the birth between you and like the tippity top? And like you said, I would assume at this point you are up there with the hitters. You are up there with the people who've been doing it for years at this point.
okay, so overall, there's like 129,000 people on the site.
Okay.
I am 2,438th.
Okay. That's very high.
And then to hit top 25, as of right now, I have like 95,000 retro achievement points.
Okay.
The person in 25th place has 1.2 million.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So it is very much the climb is much harder now than it was at the beginning, obviously. Like the graph is going up. It's going at exponential at this point, basically.
Yeah, like at this point, I guess it's just a time sink
Yeah.
of like,
yeah.
I need these people to effectively stop playing, and then I can pass them that way. And then like on the other list, the amount of beats in games on the site, to get to top 25, I need to beat 713 games, and I am at 145 right now.
Okay.
So that one's not as intense.
Not as bad.
That's only like a 6 times
Yeah.
jump up versus the 12 times jump up for the points.
Yeah, that one's much more doable. You're definitely up in the realm of people now that are playing as hard as you, but have been doing it for years versus the relatively short time that you've been doing it. So yeah, it's gonna be a challenge.
So much like I said a while ago, and then we can finish this. I think my actual goal is top 1%, and then at that point, I don't know if I have enough life in me to get past the top 1%.
Yeah, I honestly, yeah, I'm so surprised that you made it this far. Like that's really impressive.
That's wait, so like top 1% would be 1,200th. Is there an easy way to find? I think there's an easy way to find who is in 1,200th right now.
Oh yeah,
So, yeah.
that's probably challenging.
Yeah. So yeah,
You
I'm still crazy. The crazy goes on.
You got to start like sending mean messages to people that you pass. It's like, what up?
You got dunked on.
Yeah, that's perfect. Well, that's crazy. You're a monster when it comes to these things. Just grinding them
I
out.
still got it, Josh. The main thing is I still got it.
You
I
do
haven't
still
lost
got
my
it.
edge after all these years.
Yeah, and meanwhile, I never had it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Both sides of the coin.
I did make tentative plans today to go to my first major fighting game tournament coming up. I'm going to try to attend Combo Breaker, which is in May. So I've got to get a lot better at Street Fighter between now and then.
So for those things, you can go no matter what. Like you could be like the worst fighting game player of all time.
Correct.
And as long as you apply and pay a fee, if there's a fee, whatever, like they'll just let you go there still.
Yeah, you got to bring a controller, but as long as you sign up, you can do it. It's just open entry for all the majors like that, unless you're talking about like the Capcom Pro Tour, which is invite only and stuff. But most of like the big major tournaments are just open open enrollment, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Anyone can join.
And this is considered a major.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you know how
Like
many people are going to be there?
it's a major in the sense of like people have locals, which are like they're just like little tournaments for their little cities, and then the majors are the big regional ones that people come to. I think I read it a second ago. Let me look it up. I want to say like 8,500 people was the what it was capped at.
If you go look at on their actual website, they have like the built-in video playing in the background,
Yeah,
and
it's a
all the
ton of people.
screen, yeah, all the screens that show like people hanging out there. It definitely looks like thousands. So
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to find where I saw where it was capped. I actually did see a max number of people somewhere, but I don't know if I am gonna find it again here. But it seems fun. Like it's like it's kind of like a comic book convention, but a little bit more fighting game of a slant. But like there'll be vendors and an artist alley and that kind of stuff. So like things that I know about from Comic Cons, but I've certainly never entered a tournament before, so this will be the first one of those.
are you A, you're right, it's capped at 8,500. B, are you planning on staying all 3 days, win or lose?
Yeah. So like the main thing I'd want to go for, like I do want to compete. I'm fully expecting it's double a limb, so I'm fully expecting to play 2 rounds and be done.
He's
Um,
got to play 2 matches.
exactly, yeah. So I don't suspect that my tournament run will last very long. So I'm interested in the other stuff. Like they're gonna have like a big arcade section that's just free play. There's a bunch of casuals where you can just go up and play somebody in Street Fighter or whatever. So that'll be fun. Um, and I'm interested in watching the finals of the tournaments too, because they have a big stage, or I guess multiple big stages, and you can just go sit in the audience and they have live commentary. So it's like going to a sporting event essentially, and that's fun to watch. I like watching those on stream, so I think that would be fun to watch in person too. So yeah, I probably would stay the majority of the time, at least through the Street Fighter finals, even
Do
if I was
you
out.
in your mindset right now,
Yeah.
what is the best case scenario of your fighting gaming? Like, or like what's your first level goal here? Like, not to get 2-0'd twice or however they do
Yeah.
it, or
That
like
that
to
that
at least
alone.
win.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think winning one round would be like honestly, let's start even simpler. Like have someone not take like a single round off me in a game. Like or sorry, have me take a round off of someone in a game. Like not just face someone lose twice and be done, and then face someone lose twice and be done. Like if I could even like 1 and 2 someone for a round, like still lose but at least get one would be good. But yeah, like really really high goals I guess would be like actually win a round and not just instantly go to losers bracket and then lose again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, I honestly, genuinely, and this is not just me being self-deprecating, don't expect that to even happen. Like people are fucking killers at this game, and I've gotten a lot better, of course, like in my time playing it, but I'm still not like the top upper echelon of people. Like I haven't hit master yet in the game, which is the highest rank. And I'm sure most of the people I'd be playing against here are definitely like master rank and on their main character and stuff. So like certainly I am going to be outclassed from the beginning.
I guess your best shot is probably like when you inevitably make it losers bracket, to at least take like a whole match out of the losers bracket, because at least like they're losers like you.
Yeah. that is fair. Yeah, they've also lost, yeah. Um but mostly I'm just interested in it'll be fun to do. It's a good it'll be a good like practice moment, like getting to face people who are like a lot better than me in person will be fun. And yeah, it was one of my goals for this year was to like actually go to a real fighting game tournament. So that's the plan. Gonna
Look at
gonna go to
you
Combo
knocking
Breaker.
it out. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
sick.
But now that I've like decided to do it, it's like, oh, now it's real and I have to actually practice. But yeah, that's the plan. So if anyone else out there is going to be around Combo Breaker in May, let me know, and maybe we can have a little Comment Riders meetup. With that, Toby, we should probably actually talk about Kamen Rider. That's what we're here to do. Let's jump in.
Let's do the other thing.
Let's
Let's
do the
let's do
other
the
thing.
other half of this hard hitting, fantastic podcast.
Exactly. Which is talking about Bad Bunny. No, I'm just kidding.
Jesus, that was last week.
All right. So this week for the show, we watched Zeztz episode number 21. This is the follow up to the We're Trapped in a Video Game Dream episode from last time around. And yeah, I guess we'll just dive right in. So, of course, the big thing last time was we found out there was a new writer who was a person that we hadn't met yet, who we knew, we were guessing last time around was going to be code number 5. This time we do get confirmation. Yes, this is code number 5. And last we saw Nox, he was tied up by code number 5, basically getting interrogated. The very first thing this episode starts with is Nox turns the tables on him, instead ties him up in Nox's little, whatever, power threads, whatever you want to call them. And this guy gets punked out, the new guy, number 5.
Got it.
Gotta switch him up, yeah. Nox realizes that they've been following him because of a tracking device that he finds on him. And he tells 5 that the nightmares are working to dismantle the world that has been twisted by code. So, really, one of Nox's more stated goals that we've heard from him, aside from I hate code, they're terrible. This episode started to seem like the goal is destroy the world, which doesn't seem like his MO, but it definitely seems like the ladies. So, I'm curious to find out whether he has ulterior motives or not.
Yeah, I mean, like his entire character up until this point is like, code is garbage. You work for code. You're okay, but code is garbage. Code is trash. I hope code burns to the ground. Like, fuck you, code kind of thing. So yeah, him dropping the world sucks too is not really on brand. And then with 5 being 5 and all that stuff, he looks like a very generic Yakuza villain with the white wife beater shirt and just like the very generic, like, I'm gonna beat your ass, man, kind of vibe.
Totally. Yeah, I 100% thought he was a like generic Yakuza NPC, but like in a good way. Like he fits that role really well, and I think he's very funny and very over the top. Like I'm pretty into his whole presentation.
And at this point, then too, they've done very well with casting very specific different types of people for the old code numbers. Like Baku 7 is the very like lighthearted, goofy, hey, I just want to be a good agent, I want to save the world kind of deal. And now for Nox, whatever, is this whole thing sucked. Got too scared, but like, you guys suck. I hate you all.
Yeah.
And with like 5 and 6 now, they are both very specifically different types of people. And they're all not like Nox and like, yo man, you need to come back. I don't care if you think it sucks or not. Or on the opposite of that, like they are not Baku where everything's happy-go-lucky. I'll do what I have to do, but like I'm gonna just help the dreamers kind of deal as well.
Yeah.
Like all 4, or I guess, or even like 3 then too, with the little too gruff boss man vibes. Like all 5 of the active code people that we know are all very distinctly different types of people.
Yeah, they've done such a good job of introducing these characters pretty quickly, right? Like we had Nox and we had Baku for a long time, but the rest of them, like 3 and 6 and 5, are all brand new, and they're doing a great job, like you're saying, of really differentiating the characters and the motivations for all the characters and the way that they interweave is becoming really, really cool. We see a scene later this episode that we can talk about now because it's relevant, where Baku encounters 5 and 6 really for the first time. And of course, 5 gets in his face right off the bat and does his like, I'm a tough guy act. But then they demand help, basically, like help to stop the nightmares. And Baku very clearly is like, no, that's your mission. I saved the dreamers. Yeah. And it was really the firmest point that Baku has had that is like very anti-code, right? Like he's encountering other code agents that he doesn't think are evil, right? Like he knows that 6 is that he had a whole thing with her, right? He knows that she's okay. He's a little concerned about why she rejoined code, but he at least, can somewhat vouch for her. And he doesn't know anything about 5, right? It's a blank slate. But he very much is like, no, I'm not gonna do the code thing. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like
um,
because which is why Knox likes him because he's not
yeah,
really like he's doing the code thing, but he's not doing like in capital letters the code thing.
yeah,
So they're all like he's in the weird like blind spot of all of his friend groups at this point where he's not really like aligned with either side, and
yeah.
both other sides don't really understand what he's doing, kind of thing.
Yeah, he's putting himself at direct odds with both sides, which is not strategically a great idea, but certainly awesome from a main character standpoint. Also, when he asks Six, like, "Hey, why did you rejoin Code?" Like, her answer is something along the lines of like, "It's what I could do" or something, which is a really interesting answer. Because like, do you just mean that essentially were trained and brainwashed and it's the only thing you're good at, or do you mean that like there's more to this, like there's more backstory to why you did this? And like I'm interested to find that out too. She's still a big mystery to me in a lot of ways.
Yes, I found it real quick. When he asks her that, she says, "Because I have the power to," and
Yeah,
flexes and kind of like flexes with her driver. So it feels like you said a weird mix of, well, she can because she can, like obviously she can make her own free will choices, and part of it just seems like I recognize the world's going to shit, and since I know that I have the abilities to do so, it's just my role here. I am supposed to be doing this thing.
yeah, yeah. I'm interested to hear her flesh that thought out in future episodes. But I really liked the little confrontation between the two of them. I thought that was cool, and again, that's like some nice gray area where they're not enemies, but she certainly didn't do what Baku would have wanted her to do. So now they are maybe at odds while technically being on the same team.
Yeah.
I think 5 also reminded me of Date from O's a little bit,
Oh
like
yeah, I can see
in his
it.
like he just kind of like jockey vibe that he puts off, and he's just this tough guy rider that shows up out of nowhere. It reminded me of that a little bit. But after our little confrontation there between 5 and Nox, Baku wakes up, or sorry, Baku first, I guess, goes to tell Nem and the kids that, yo, this is different. He shows back up. He's dressed like an agent now. And they're like, Villager number A or whatever. I was like Villager A, why are you dressed like that? And he's like, listen, kids, we're cutting the crap. This is serious. And yeah, tells them that this is probably multiple dreamers, and they'll continue on from there. Baku wakes up at this point and goes to talk to people in the command closet. And at this point, Nazca shows them that she has found other kids who are also drawing pictures of the Demon King. So
It's a
that
hell of a group. We got a hell of a group.
we certainly do. And yeah, so confirmation that it is multiple dreamers at this point. Baku grabs his kendama and heads over to find one of the girls that he's been dreaming with in the real world, which is always so funny that he just like shows up outside of a school and like, hey, do you know me from your dreams? It's
Yeah,
like,
like even once you get used to it, it happens all the time, and the kids definitely seem better about just being like, oh, it's Dream Friend, and not being as like,
yeah,
I don't know if off put is the right word, but the more adults are like, oh wait, you're out here. That's weird to see. Like, what are you doing? Why did you come to my job? What the hell is going on here?
yeah. The girl probably should have screamed stranger danger, but she didn't. She talked to him instead. He showed her the pictures of the other kids, and she thought she did recognize them from the dream. And he asked if she knew why she might be having these dreams, and she said it might be because of block create, which is, as far as I can tell, like a Minecraft style,
Yeah.
Roblox style game that Nem is sort of the main character for, and they've all the kids have been playing.
So at this point, we made jokes about the RPG thing last week and all that. So because of the way the splash screen looks when they have the little characters pop up, I am at 99% sure it's supposed to be a Dragon Quest Builders
That's what I was gonna say.
spinoff
Yeah,
and not one of the games. Because I went Minecraft first too. The name was very like, oh, buildy crafty game, whatever. But then when they did the splash screen for Build Quest kind of deal, I was like, this looks like Dragon Quest Builders. This has to be what this is at this point.
yeah, like for sure. Last time we were calling out the Dragon Quest connection. Like the main character. Actually, now that I'm pulling up the Dragon Quest Builders 2 cover art, the main character is actually dressed almost exactly like Nem,
There you go.
like
Yep. So there we go.
blue and yellow and red. Yeah, that's got to be intentional. Yeah, like I think the Dragon Quest connection and then the Minecraft merge them together. Yeah, they're definitely doing Dragon Quest Builders. Um, which is not a game that I ever really played. I think I played the demo of, but I never actually played the full game. But it looks cool. I don't know. Did you ever play it?
I think I either played both or I played whichever one was on the Switch. And I or tried one on the computer and played through one on the Switch. And it's definitely fun. Like my only problem is it's a better version of like I liked Minecraft, but with Minecraft has no guidance of what really to do.
Yeah.
And my brain doesn't function in that good of a way to play those kind of games. And like Dragon Quest Builders kind of does the opposite problem, where I want to fuck around more and build the goofy little rooms and do things, but they keep the story going a little too much. And then
Okay.
you're not really building as much as you're playing an RPG that every once in a while, or like an action game, RPG, whatever, where like every once in a while they're like, hey, by the way, your little castle needs a second bedroom. Don't forget how to build those. It's a 3x4 block room. It needs a door. It needs a bed. It needs a torch by the wall kind of thing. But the games are fun. Like I enjoyed my entire time with the game. I just wish I had a little more freedom in that versus the too much freedom of Minecraft itself.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like at some point someone's gonna crack the it's Minecraft mechanics, but it's an RPG, and figures out how to merge those perfectly, where it isn't just here's the exact way you build a room and you have to build it this way every time, but so somehow they let you do the creativity of Minecraft while also progressing a story. That'll be the $1 million maker for sure.
That's right. Pokemon, whatever it's called, coming out in April. Whatever
It's gonna
Pokemon Minecraft dumb thing is coming out, the big Switch
Oh
game.
yeah,
Switch
yeah.
game.
I totally forgot about that one. That game's gonna suck. Let's be honest with ourselves. I hope it doesn't, but it's gonna suck.
It's gonna be like every other one of these games, I'm sure.
Yeah. Nazca tells them that all the kids have also experienced different kinds of natural disasters. So that's one more connection between all the kids. And then we cut over to the lady. The lady is working on a painting. Nox is there. And she is basically waxing poetic about how ironic it is that the worst dreams are created by the pure, innocent children. And she says, just like him, which we don't know who the him is, I don't think here.
I would assume one of the code agents, but maybe probably just Baku himself.
Yeah, Baku's probably the most likely guess for sure.
Because I mean, they did therapy together. She knows exactly how he is on the inside.
She knows how his brain works exactly. she's read him like a book. Baku is back at home with his sister. He's talking about the kids and their fear of natural disasters, and clearly he's worried about them. He's like thumbing through the photos, and then he has like almost like a passing out episode. Like he like sort of has like he takes like psychic damage, and he starts to like bend over and fall asleep. And then he kind of like lays down in the bed and goes to sleep for real. His sister definitely is like, wait, the kids aren't even going to be asleep yet. Like, what are we doing? Like, wait, this is weird. But he's sound asleep. And then she finds the card for the ladies' counselor service.
The fake therapist.
Yeah, the fake therapist, exactly. So I would imagine that the thing that's happening here is that Baku is like taking mental damage because of whatever the lady did to him, potentially. But certainly something I'm sure they'll follow up on later.
Yeah, they're always good at this point of pet compared to the other shows. At least there's always a lot of payoffs. They set the pitch up and then they knock it out of the park. So I'm sure we will get there eventually. Of hey, this is what this means. This is what this was compared to some other things.
Yeah, I'm sure. Baku, of course, goes back to the dream world. This is where he does run into 5 and 6, and they have their little exchange that we talked about. And yeah, he reiterates that his mission is to protect the dreamers, which I really like. Baku and Nem and the kids head off to the castle of the Demon King. That's the big scary place that we saw last time around. Um, and yeah, they encounter the little monsters again that try to come and grab all the kids. Baku basically like rushes them and punches the monsters into oblivion. But he kind of has to do it over and over again because they keep popping up out of everywhere to grab these kids. And yeah, I guess we'll just finish out that thread and then we'll loop back. But the Demon King materializes here at the end, and he essentially, it looks like he puts a trance on these kids. Like they all sort of like go completely blank faced and like
Yep.
no reaction, like they're not scared anymore, they're just kind of staring. And then he like commands them towards them and they just sort of all start to march like zombies. And that was genuinely kind of scary. Like the effect that he had on the kids was like, oh wow, this seems kind of dark. Okay.
It's like the Pied Piper.
Yeah, very much like the Pied Piper. And the Demon King himself, I think is one of the coolest like rubber suit designs that we've seen in recent memory. I think he looks really cool. I think he looks really scary. He's got like a split head. Like there's like a fake head that is split, and then his head is like in between it. I think that looks really cool. Yeah, I really just dig his whole design.
Yeah, he's definitely very cool looking. And then the brainwashing sequence, they did the goofy thing where obviously everyone has lost their mind, they're being possessed, whatever. And I know the heroes were tied up and really couldn't interact with the kids more. But like, and then all these things forever when they're just like standing there, like not unable to help. And it's like, no, don't do it. Don't go that way. Wait, stop. No, turn around. It's just funny because like, obviously everyone's drugged, high, whatever. And I'm pretty sure like you screaming like, no, he's bad is not going to snap anyone out of it when they're already too far gone.
Yeah, but what else you gonna do? Like if you're tied
Yeah.
up and the kids are walking towards like
You
oblivion.
break out of your damn chains, Josh.
Yeah, he couldn't do that. These chains were very strong, apparently. So all that he could do was yell, "No, stop, no!" But the kids all disappear into the door that the Demon King creates inside of himself, and then we get to see some real nonsense happen here at the end. So the kids all basically disappear IRL. We get to see them sleeping in their beds, and they turn into purple dust and float away. And then a giant butterfly flies over the city, sprinkles more purple dust on basically everyone in the entire city, and they all fall and instantly pass out. So things are going bad here in Tokyo because of all this.
Just like Mothra.
It very much looked like Mothra, honestly. Totally. Like with the giant thing flying through the air and then the dust coming down. It was
Sleep dust,
very,
whatever. Yeah, her thing
yeah,
was.
very Mothra. We'll circle back and we'll talk about the 5 fight here in a second. But the end is we see 3 standing on a rooftop looking out over this happening, all of this craziness. And he just says, mission failed. So yeah, I don't know how he'll be involved and what his reaction will be, but he is aware of the emergency situation that's going on.
Okay, so I took a screenshot or screen cap, whatever, of his face when he says it. I want you to look at it real quick. Is
Okay.
he that good of an actor where it looks like he's about to cry? Like he's so
It does.
disappointed, sad? Or does he just have glassy eyes and he's just staring? Because to me, it looks like he's like upset, getting ready to cry, like mission failed. Oh my God, we actually lost one kind of thing.
Yeah, I think he's just a really good actor. Because I don't think he's had like super watery eyes when we've seen him before necessarily.
He's just angry eyes.
Yeah, and now he definitely has like the, oh shit, we got to deal with this look on his face. Like, yep, this is bad. Yeah, I think that guy's cool. I'm really excited to see more of him. Like the little interaction we got with him and Baku so far was like money. So I'm really excited for him to be more involved. But while this is all going on, we also do get another encounter with Nox and 5 and 6. So last time around, I wasn't super clear on the relationship between 5 and 6 and sort of how the transformation was working. I thought that it was just a red herring and 6 wasn't gonna hench in at all, and 5 was the only Kamen Rider. That's not the case. they both can henshin, and we get to see their like dual henshin in this fight.
That
And
show was
it's
sick.
sick.
Yep.
Yeah. That yeah, I watched that multiple times. Like I stopped it after it was over and I rewound it and watched it again. It's so good. They put themselves into like weird capsule that then they break out of. There's like these crazy lasers that come and like put the sections of their suit on and stuff in the capsules. It's very, very good.
It's almost
And
like a
this
more aggressive version of the pudding cup one from Gav, where one of them
oh
had
yeah,
like I'm drowning in this container and then broke out of it. I think it was pudding cup, if
yeah,
I
you're
remember
right.
correctly.
Yeah, it was Ram. Yeah, it's very similar to that. Like
Yeah, just
encase
like a
you in the
more
pudding
like
cup.
just like a more intense version of it kind of deal.
Yeah. The suits look really good. I really like that they look distinct from each other. Like they all have their own design, but they all are aesthetically very similar. Like right, like Nox and 5 and 6 all sort of have the same lineage as like coming from code. So like their suits look the same in some ways in certain design elements, but then like are you can tell them apart. Like they have different drivers, they have different designs, but a lot of the same visual styling. I think that's cool. When this fight started, Nox said the hardest thing that I've ever heard. They're getting ready to fight. He just watches the two people transform, and he says, "Come, break yourselves upon me." And that's awesome. I had to write that down. Break yourselves upon me.
But that boy has words, or a way with
he
words, that's for
really
sure.
he really does. But yeah, that one, man. I remember I watched. This is a weird pull. But when I did, I remember watching A Knight's Tale, and there's a scene in that movie where the king says like, "You have been weighed, you have been measured, and you have been found wanting." And I thought that was like the coolest thing you could say to someone. And this maybe tops that. I think "Come break yourselves upon me" might be cooler than that.
You're gonna try to work that into like your work conversation tomorrow now.
Absolutely. Yeah. As I did with the line from A Knight's Tale for years. I tried to work it in whenever I could. But, you know, you beat someone in a video game, you tell them that. You can fit it in. Yeah, so we get to see the fight. It's very cool that, you know, good choreography with the three characters. And we get to see a little bit of how like the drivers and stuff work for 5 and 6. So they are single capsim drivers. They're red, but they seem to work basically like Baku's does. You know, they put the capsim in, they henshin, they take it out, they put it into their little swords and their guns and stuff. Um, at one point in this fight, 5 grabs Nox and then tells 6 to shoot them, and he says that he's willing to die for this cause.
Yep.
Which, if you need like a tiny little microcosm of what 5's personality is, that is it right there. Like he's the obedient dog who's willing to die for code.
So he,
And
like,
she does shoot even.
and so him, like, he is the staunch opposite of Nox, who is like, I would never do all this for code, like fuck them. And 5's like, this, I'm gonna ride or die with these people until the end.
Yeah,
Polar opposite
and
kind of thing.
I'm ready for the end to be right now if that's the case. Um, at some point in this fight, Nox quips. It was either in this fight or earlier. Nox quips about like, yeah, you just want to be a number, or you're just known as a number, or something like that. Basically, like you have no personality. You're just a code number. I thought that was pretty good. But yeah, I think overall great fight, and I'm really excited about the the additions of new writers. I guess like that's also pretty fun.
Yeah, way back in the beginning, I made a joke or a comment of like, I don't want huge, massive backstories of all the people because we know where it ends up. And I feel like they're doing a good job of at least fixing what my complaint was going to be, where we're basically just kind of dropping people on the show and saying, "Hey, this is who I am," and they do a pretty good job in their couple minutes of an episode to help show this is their personality type, this is they're a part of the cause, and now like almost the whole crew's here. So at this point, I'm pretty convinced that we will see all 7 numbers plus if Zero comes back, and it's just going to escalate every time someone new comes.
Yeah, I think we definitely will see all the numbers now that we've confirmed this one is 5. Um, and it's getting crazy. Like for, I guess to wrap it up. Like last week I I was very 50-50 on the episode, right? Like I liked parts of it I thought were not so hot. And I wanted it to be better than it was for the content because it was a very cool idea. This episode completely different. I thought it was amazing. I think all the character stuff in it was really, really good. I think that was a expert way to introduce Five and get us used to him a little bit, what he's all about. And like the ending with the stakes that they set up and like everybody in the city now getting and these kids disappearing, like really, really ramping up what had been going on, right? Because there was always the threat of like, oh, it's going to break out into the real world, and now it actually is happening again, and that's exciting to see where that's going to go from here. So like we came from what I wanted to be a better episode than it was now to what I think is one of the best episodes of the series so far, for me at least.
Yeah, like overall, it felt like a weird nothing but everything episode. But I do think like everyone has their great motivations now. The world has escalated to a fever pitch of okay, everything's fucked right now. And we feel like we needed a good downer arc for a little bit because Baku was getting away with too much stuff. So now
Yeah.
we're gonna go like high stakes for a week or two, and then we'll go from there. After he's broken and has to rebuild as a true code agent with no morals, and he'll be ready.
Yeah, it's probably a tough balancing act if you're writing the show because it is a person pretending to be a secret agent in dreams. So he has to be, and he's your main Kamen Rider. So he has to be inherently really powerful and like basically gets to just snap his fingers and do whatever he wants. But at the same time, like that doesn't make for a good show, right? So you do have to like beat down the main character some. So that's probably a balancing act that's hard to figure out, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, they with the note that yes, this writer seems like they definitely know what they're doing. That does seem like a weird juggling act to try to find proper like antagonists for the badass agent hero kid kind of thing.
Yeah. Also, they fixed one of my complaints from last episode. Of course, the thing I said last episode, Nem is supposed to be the hero in this dream. She's cast as the hero. She doesn't actually do anything heroic, and then Baku just takes over. But in this episode, she actually stands up to one of the nightmares and uses her like special magic powers to essentially do an atomic butt drop on him.
Yeah, the
It was
weird the
great.
weird
She actually,
butterfly creepy monster one, not
yeah,
not
not the
not not
Demon
super
King.
evil man. Yeah,
Yeah, but like, like the fact that she actually got to stand up and be the hero and because she was cast as the hero, I thought was great. I'm glad that they actually had that little scene. Toby, with that, let's jump over to emails. Our email address is cast@commonwritersucks.com. Once again, that is cast@commonwritersucks.com. Feel free to send us in emails about anything that you want. It'll most likely get read on the show. This week, we have an email that is coming from our friend Shade. Shade's got a lot of information for us about Zeztz episode 21. First, he dives into the case file for episode number 21. Apparently, the first thing that we learn in the case file is that the people of the internet have found the tracker that was on
idiots. I
Knox's
agree.
jacket. They are idiots, yeah. No, they've identified the tracker that we see in the show that was on Knox's jacket, and turns out it is a pilot ball friction pen eraser top. So
That's
they just took
hilarious.
apart an erasable pen and glued it to his jacket as the tracker, which is great. Of course, we talked about code number 5 and code number 6's transformation we get to see for the first time. Shade tells us that the actor who plays code number 5 is Koyanagi Shin. He previously played Sonoroku in Avataro Sentai Dawn Brothers, who you guys will meet very soon, I assume. I looked it up. He doesn't appear until episode, I think, 46, somewhere around there. So we still have, 9 or so episodes to go until we get there. But he apparently shows up in Dawn Brothers as well. So that's exciting.
I'm pretty sure that we won't recognize when he does.
No, we will not. Shade says because his character in Don Brothers was named Sonoroku, Roku meaning 6, he joked that he finally got promoted to number 5. During the costume fitting for Code Number Five's uniform, he suggested the idea for Five to only wear a tank top himself. Shade says, I can see why. He's pretty swole. I like the idea of like rolling in knowing you're like a fit dude, being like, what if my character just wore a tank top all the time? What if we just did that? What if I got to show off my muscles? Does that seem okay?
What if my outfit was like skin tight, just to really like show how heroic I am?
How do you guys feel about hanging dong on Kamen Rider? We pro? we good? Shade says, now we get to the transformation itself. Code number 5 and 6 transform using the Lord Invoker belt and the 2 new capsums, Shock and Panic. And we hear those call outs in the show, actually. Shock and Panic. For what we've seen, the Lord Invoker belt that 5 and 6 used to transform seems to be a newer version of Nox's old Knight Invoker belt that he used to transform into Nox Knight. And just like Nox Knight, 5 and 6 transform using the phrase disguise, which means that they're not officially classified as a Kamen Rider. Instead, their transformations are called Lord 5 and Lord 6, respectively.
I guess that's what happens once you retire. Now, they're not Kamen Riders anymore. They just have the powers of... Then that's what 5, 4, whatever the girl is, whatever she meant then, I guess would make sense that like she henshins because she has the power, but she's not actually a Kamen Rider.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
She's officially not. Yeah. According to the official ranking.
Yeah.
Shade says, now you guys might be thinking, oh, another one of those characters that transforms but aren't called Kamen Riders for some dumb reason. Lame. But there's often an explanation as to why it is the way that it is, one that I will be explaining. For each respective series, the title of Kamen Rider often means a specific thing, and they can vary depending on the series and its narrative, which is why this is confusing. Let's take Alternative from Kamen Rider Ryuki as an example. Don't worry, this isn't a major spoiler. He transforms with a belt, uses cards, and rides a motorcycle like every other rider in Ryuki. However, he's not officially a Kamen Rider for a specific narrative reason. If you compare Alternative to other riders in Ryuki, you'll see that Alternative does not follow any other rider design schemes. That's because the rider system in Ryuki was created by one guy, and in the canon, and the in-canon reason as to why Alternative isn't a Kamen Rider is because the guy who created the rider system did not create the Alternative suit. Which leads us back to Kamen Rider Zeztz, and I have a crackpot theory about this. Judging from Nox's past as Code number 4 and the transformation of number 5 and 6, it seems like Code's standard issue transformation equipment is the Invoker system. The Knight Invoker was the old version of the belt, and the current version is the Lord Invoker. So Code's current standard belt is now the Lord Invoker, which begs the question, why is Baku the only one in Code with a proper Kamen Rider driver? I know it's because he's the main character and they have to sell toys and stuff, but still. So far, Baku is the outlier here, and I think there's something special about Baku and the Zeztz driver. Zero previously referred to Baku as the one and only agent. I don't think he's referring to the fact that Baku is the only active agent. What if he meant that Baku is a special one-of-a-kind agent, which is why he's a Kamen Rider, and by extension, Nox as well after his awaken, but I haven't figured him out yet. That's interesting. Yeah. So first of all, on the character transforms but isn't a Kamen Rider, like I think when we called that dumb before, like I think we understood that they're not Kamen Riders because of storyline reasons. We just think that is silly. like there's still people who put on a driver and have a henshin sequence and then become a costumed hero. So for all intents and purposes, we were saying that they're Kamen Riders, and it's a little silly to like make the distinction. But I totally get that there's storyline reasons why they're not. This came up because we were watching Gotchard, and Valvarad obviously made his own driver. It wasn't the same lineage as the Kamen Rider driver, so it was a separate thing. He wasn't originally a Kamen Rider, and then he became one. I get all that. But I think the theory about Baku being sort of the unique agent is very interesting because of something that happened this episode, Toby. don't know if you remember when Baku encounters 5 and 6 in the forest and then he leaves. 5 looks at 6 and says, "Wait, so this is Zero's." I don't remember his exact wording, but basically he's like, "Oh, this is Zero's like pet project, or this is Zero's like golden boy."
Yeah.
um, so he says basically along the lines of like, "This is the one who Zero likes the most." So it might stand to reason then that Zero has like selected him as the ultimate special agent and given him special privileges like a Kamen Rider belt because of that.
He's a bit late. Like, yeah, Zero's like Willy Wonka, and Baku's Charlie, where you found like the one good kid that wasn't gonna eat all the chocolates or want golden eggs, and instead,
Yeah,
is just like the hero, the mild mannered hero who just will do the right thing no matter what.
Yeah, for sure. Next up, Shade shared some behind the scenes photos of us. Of course, we get to see Baku doing the kendama again this episode. We talked about it a bit last time. He was actually not too bad at it this time. We get to see him do a couple tricks, and he catches the ball, all except for the last time when he drops it. So he's not the worst.
He's getting better.
Yeah, he's getting better. There also is a behind the scenes photo of Nim playing with the kendama. So clearly they were passing it around, which is funny. And then there's a shot of all of the characters, the kids and Nim and Baku, picking up rocks on the side of a creek and throwing rocks into the creek, which is very fun. That's just a universal experience for all ages, for no matter where you're from. It's fun to throw rocks into water.
Exactly.
Shade goes on to say one more thing. A few episodes back, Josh asked about the visuals that are on Nox's capsims. I initially decided not to share them because the photograph toy looks terrible for some reason, but they recently released these as gifts, so we get a better look. So there's one for Nox Shadow and for Nox Gun Shadow. And basically these are like 9 drawings of Nox in each of them fighting the Nightmare for that capsum. So he's fighting different nightmares depending on the capsum that he's using. So that's kind of a neat little version of that Nox's capsims are like very combat based because of how they're designed, basically.
Yep.
Shade says, now let's get on to some news and tidbits this week. The Cho AU Sai concert recently happened, and a bunch of fun stuff happened during the concert. As always, a ton of artists performed Rider and Sentai songs, featuring some Metal Hero songs this year, and we also got a talk show section with the cast of Zeztz. Nem performed her character song with the others cheering for her. Nox's actor was really introverted during the show. And they had a bit where they all had to try to wake Baku up. In order to do that, our 2 police friends decided to do the Gozyuger dance.
Oh, yeah.
Then Baku, in response, does Hoeru's "You're my prey" catchphrase while half asleep. So, fun little shout out to Gozyuger there. They also premiered for the first time Gavan Infinity's theme song, which is called Love is the Strongest. And Shade says what's really cool is that the legendary Akira Kushida, who sang the opening for all of the Space Sheriff shows, was also performing at the concert, and the 2 musicians got to pass the torch to each other. So the former Space Sheriff musician with the new Space Sheriff musician. So that's pretty cool.
Always passing torches and batons.
Yeah, except for this year, right? We didn't get to do, or I'm assuming that they won't do any baton passing with Sentai ending.
You should just hold it in the air and drop it, and the show, and then the show ends.
That's perfect. Shade says that's going to be it for this email, but I will be making a part 2 where I will cover the end of Gozyuger and Super Sentai. So yeah, we have not finished Gozyuger yet. We're a little bit behind. So I will flag that email, Shade, and I will save that for when we do finish Gozyuger. We might even talk about it in the episode when we finish Gozyuger for the Patreon. So we'll save that content for now since we're not up to that point, but thanks very much for the emails, Shade. Again, if you want to send in an email like Shade did, send those over to cast@KamenRiderSucks.com. Once again, that is cast@KamenRiderSucks.com. Toby, speaking of us watching Gozyuger, we have a Patreon over at patreon.com/thecommentwriters. For $3 a month, you get access to the Patreon. That gives you Discord access where you can talk to us all week long. And it also gives you access to all the bonus content that we post on, which is usually a couple things a week, where we're watching through old or different tokusatsu shows that we aren't talking about on the main podcast. So right now we're watching through Dawn Brothers and Goes Yuger, which, as I mentioned, we're almost finished up. And then we'll pick something new. We'll probably roll into Space Sheriff Gavon when that comes around. So that's the Patreon. We do hope you check it out. It's a great bargain, and it's super fun. Also, if you're not sure you quite want to spend the $3 yet, you can follow the Patreon for free. There is a post there where you could find the first 3 episodes of all the shows that we have watched for the Patreon for free. So you can get quite a big sample size to see if it's right for you before you decide you want to sign up for real Z's. So once again, check that out, patreon.com/thecommentwriters. All right, Toby, that's going to wrap up the episode. Why don't you tell the people where they can find you?
On Twitter, it's Life of Tobes, and on YouTube, it's Tobes Plays.
For me, you can find me on Blue Sky at meek.lol. And man, I'm really getting back out there in the social media, Toby. I think I've made 2 posts on Blue Sky in the past 2 weeks, so blazing numbers over here, according to my previous efforts. But the show also has a profile on Blue Sky. You can find that at KamenRiderSucks.com. And of course, do check out the Patreon, patreon.com/thecommentwriters. So we hope you come back and join us next time. There's certainly a lot going on in Zeztz that we want to find out answers to and see what happens with. So we'll be talking about that, and we hope you do join us back for it. Meantime, have a great week. Peace, everybody.